The media has been buzzing with some headlines recently that no one can say they didn't see coming ever since Bronny, the first son of the NBA sports superstar LeBron James, got transferred to Sierra Canyon, a private K-12 school in Chatsworth, Los Angeles. The basketball community, fans, and pundits have been keeping their ears to the ground, silently hoping that the young James would toe the path of his father, whose time at the St. Vincent St. Mary High School was nothing short of legendary. Little year after Bronny transfer, and it seems like their prayers have been answered. Hey, before we get to the video, if you haven't already subscribed to our Trade Hoops channel, then please subscribe to it so that you can get all the latest notification of our videos. So let's start with today's video. There are only a few basketball players in history who get as much recognition and acclaim as LeBron James. Since his professional journey began back in 2003, the four-time NBA champion has become the biggest name in the game. Although his career is starting to wind down now, and he is sharing the spotlight with others such as Giannis, Kevin Durant, and Kawhi Leonard, there was a time when LeBron James was the NBA. No one was bigger or better, and they didn't even come close. LeBron James Sr. was born on December 30, 1984. In Akron, Ohio, to his single mother, Gloria. His early years weren't easy, with his mother moving him from apartment to apartment in dangerous parts of town as Gloria attempted to hold down a job and take care of her son. Because of how challenging her life was, Gloria made the impossible decision to allow another family to raise LeBron and allowed him to move in with local youth football coach Frank Welker. It was Welker who introduced young LeBron to the game of basketball. In other words, it was Frank Welker who not only changed his life, but changed the future of the NBA forever. LeBron James has earned more accolades in 17 years than most people earn in a lifetime. He's been the league's MVP 4 times. He's been a finals MVP 4 times too. During his stint with the Heat, James resided in Coconut Grove, where he bought a $9 million 3-story mansion overlooking Biscayne Bay. In November 2015, James bought a 9,350 square foot East Coast-style mansion in Brentwood, Los Angeles for about $21 million. James owns another home in Brentwood, Los Angeles, which he purchased for $23 million in December 2000. The following year, LeBron was putting up 25 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists a game. That season, the team only lost one single game. He would leave the Cavs a few years later with his sights set on a championship ring. He earned his first 2 in Miami along with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh before heading back home to win a championship with his Cavs and then head west to win one with the Los Angeles Lakers too. Throughout his career, LeBron has been the epitome of skill, determination, and smarts. He has repeatedly been called the smartest NBA player alive and has shown his ability to make plays, think ahead, and lead a team. No matter what team LeBron has played for, he has been the most dominant and important factor in it. How does his son, Bronny James, compare? You won't be surprised to hear that the son of possibly the greatest NBA talent ever is a good ballplayer. But you might be surprised to hear just how good he is. Bronny James was born on the 4th of October 2004, when his father was just 19 years old and in the second season of his NBA career. From the time he was a kid, Bronny's strong athletic genes were already evident. However, the senior LeBron was quite protective of him and would make sure that young Bronny didn't play any sport like hockey or football that would hurt him physically and mess up any future chances of him getting into the sport. As Bronny grew older, soon enough, he got into basketball, and that is when it became clear that LeBron James might have just photocopied himself. There's no denying the fact that Bronny James at the age of 16 is proving to everyone that he has some serious talent, and he might well be among the most talented ballers in his age group. Unsurprisingly, LeBron James himself has also been on the scene showing serious support for his son and his games and on his Instagram posts. And unsurprisingly, everyone everywhere in the media has been quick to compare the Los Angeles Lakers Superman to the young, budding talent that is his son. It all sounds a bit unfair comparing anyone with a player like King James, let alone a 16-year-old player. However, when you're the son of one of the greatest NBA players of all time, then that comes with its baggage, especially if you decide that you want to become a basketball or yourself. In the case of Bronny, it's no different that he's been playing basketball since he was 4 and now that he's 16 and getting dangerously close to the NBA drafting eligibility. There's one question on everyone's mind that I'm not ashamed to vocalize: his 16-year-old Bronny James better than 16-year-old LeBron James Sr.? Before we continue, try to set aside your "it's because LeBron is his father" prejudice, and let's address this as objectively as we possibly can. How did Bronny get to the point where everyone who watches him play regards him as one of the most promising high school players in the United States, having the junior James stack up an insane scout grade of 83, become a consensus 5-star recruit, and cause colleges to queue up for him years before his eligibility? To get to the bottom of this, we need to go way back to how it all started for the heir of King James Brown. LeBron James is an absolute unit on the floor, a truly frightening beast of a player when he wants to be. He is a specimen of physical dominance and strength. And he isn't afraid to get physical, driving through the paint for show-stopping dunks or brilliant layups. LeBron James is a great facilitator on the court, but he also loves some nitty-gritty, in-your-face basketball. LeBron hasn't allowed that to alienate him from his son and has come to an understanding with Bronny that allows him to be as involved in his life as any loving father would be, having been spotted several times cheering his son from the sidelines at his game, or even going as far as dunking some pre-game shots, yelling and hyping up his son's team and being a great dad and his biggest fan. Something that has drawn some criticism from the public. LeBron doesn't care though, and we wouldn't either if we were in his shoes. LeBron James is even gone as far as saying that his son might even be better than him. In fact, NBA draft analyst Paul Bia and Cardi actually praised Bronny earlier this year in the safest yet dramatic fashion on Twitter. I hope LeBron is not going to get mad at me, but I think Bronny's jump shot is a little bit better. LeBron's jump shot, even back when he was 16. The same isn't true for Bronny, who has created a technique that surpasses his father's. He still has room for improvement, but, as a traditional shooter, Bronny has one-upped his dad. And Bronny is also better than his father at staying cool under pressure at this young age. There is a lot of pressure on Bronny, just like there was a lot on LeBron in high school. But Bronny has always stayed cool, calm, and collected and has kept his head down and focused solely on basketball. He's never been as showy as his dad was and is seemingly far more resistant to the limelight. This will allow him to manage expectations and perfect his game as he gets closer and closer to the NBA. There is little doubt that Bronny James is on his way to basketball stardom. Right now, he plays a lot as his dad did in high school. In fact, in some ways, Bronny is already better than LeBron. That should send a shiver down the spines of other NBA prospects, and should make many coaches very, very excited. Will Bronny ever outdo his dad? Is he bound for greatness just like LeBron? Or will Bronny always pale in comparison to his father? Let us know your opinion in the comments below. To stay up to date with my latest videos and latest NBA news, make sure to subscribe to the Trade Hoops YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button. Thank you for watching. If you like watching our video, then please don't forget to like and share and obviously subscribe.